Welcome back to The Pulse, your weekly guide to global health. Now, as any parent knows, it's a universal struggle, trying to get little kids to wash their faces. But in many poor countries, staying clean can save your sight. That's because it stops the spread of trachoma. Trachoma is an infectious form of blindness. It's caused by bacteria, and it's spread by flies from one infected person to another. That's 80 million people a year. Now, we know what it takes to stop trachoma. Surgery to correct the damage, antibiotics to kill the bacteria, and face washing and environmental control to stop the spread. The Pulse went to Tanzania to see just how it's done.
Trachoma is spread by flies. It's rife in the developing world. It causes pain in the eyes and can lead to blindness.
I feel as if something's moving inside my eye.
Women are the ones who take care of children, so they get reinfected by their children.
Tanzania is rich in wildlife, and tourists flock to see giraffes in the reserves, and monkeys and zebras. But it's one of the poorest countries in the world, and there is much that the visitors don't see. Trachoma is rife in Tanzania, and it's spread by flies. As it develops, it scars the undersides of the eyelid and pulls the lashes inwards. They scratch the cornea, the surface of the eye, gradually destroying sight.
Globally, there are about 80 million people with active trachoma. About 1.5 million adults who are blind due to trachoma. Here in Africa, we probably have 30 million with active trachoma and probably 500,000 people who are blind due to trachoma.
Northern Tanzania. Take the highway from Africa's highest mountain, Kilimanjaro, go southwest, leaving the metalled road. Travel on for another hour, and you reach Rosalin. It's a Maasai settlement, clusters of huts around a large pen of goats, the village's livelihood. They provide meat, drink, skins and cloth, and are carefully tended and guarded. Animal dung is a fact of life. And it attracts flies, thousands of them. And having inspected the dung, the flies seek out their next landing place, the faces of children, because there they find moisture. Dribble, dirt and tears, common to children around the world. Those infected fluids are transferred to hands and towels and clothes and spread within the family. Rosalin has no running water, in fact no water at all. The nearest gushes down a gully several hundred meters away. So hands and faces are clean only occasionally. Living hygienically is an effort. Teresia is one of the senior women in the village. Her brother is the village chairman. She's preparing a skin to be used as bedding, but it's not easy.
My eye's been itching and burning. I feel as if something's moving inside my eye. At times it feels like sand. Sometimes I see well, and other times I can't see well. It's like something's covering my eye.
54,000 people suffer in the same way in Tanzania, according to the World Health Organization. In some villages, the infection rate is as high as 40%. Teresia's sons and daughters have been a blessing. She has only a vague suspicion that they've been the instrument of her approaching blindness.
Naitwa Julius Melubo.
I am Julius Melubo, the chairman of Rosalin village. These people are coming from Kilimanjaro Center to examine us for trachoma.
Mambo ya trachoma ya macho.
The Kilimanjaro Center for Community Ophthalmology, the KCCO, has teamed up with a unit from the University of Cambridge to deliver this new test. The Wellcome Trust has funded a study of 12,000 children across Africa. Their work could dramatically change trachoma diagnosis and treatment worldwide. Teresia and the other mothers have brought their children to be tested. Patrick Masai is project coordinator with the KCCO. He takes a seat with the village chairman.
Children usually they cry when we examine them, so it's the one going to grab them so that I can examine them and take specimens smoothly.
The children are fascinated, but not quite sure what lies ahead. First up is Dowdy Johanna. He's 4.
First, we look at the face. If it is dirty or it is clean, that is the first thing. Another thing, we look at the nose, whether it's got a nose discharge. We report it.
Then he lifts the upper eyelid to look for signs of trachoma. And then takes swabs.
Yeah. I'm taking another swab.
The process provokes howls of protest. A visual inspection and diagnosis, the standard method, can only be around 50% correct, even with Patrick's experience. Taking a swab to be tested will allow the team to be far more accurate, if resented by the children.
No, they just feel that I'm a bad man. When I examine them, they think I'm a bad man, but not. It's not.
The reward has an instant calming effect. Teresia's daughter is next to be tested. While Dowdy declines any help in unwrapping his prize. At the end of the line is Indikiro Orkaleli. He asks for his eyes to be swabbed out of curiosity. He rejects a sweet. It's his compound, and his veranda is all that's needed as a laboratory to test the eye swabs. Claude Michel of the Cambridge University team won't do the test himself. In less than an hour, he trains Odilia, a local ophthalmic nurse. The aim is to hand responsibility and power over to the professionals here. One rapid test can detect trachoma. Claude soon shows Teresia her daughter's negative result, with a positive as a comparison. The Cambridge rapid test is highly valued.
I think that will be very useful for us because it will help us to know the real situation of a disease in our district and also to take immediate action.
The mothers of children who are positive line up to be given medication. Trachoma is cured with a 1-dose antibiotic.
The drugs to treat trachoma are available on a donation basis, but they're also affordable if purchased from India. The real challenge to us is actually the cost of getting the drugs out to the community.
The disease must be caught early because surgery can only correct the damaged eyelid. It can't repair the cornea. Dowdy has tested negative this time, but unless the community can make changes, he may not stay that way. The animals are still central, and running water is a gleam in the chairman's eye. But Rosalin village has begun its fight against trachoma with a newly constructed latrine. Human waste, at least, is now well away from the dwellings. The future for women and children facing trachoma is beginning to look brighter. The diagnostic test can be used by local health workers with just an hour's training. And that will give them the power and the knowledge they need to fight for their health.
That's all for this edition. But join us again next time on The Pulse.